First of all, it's disgraceful that government cannot find money to conduct elections in the newly created districts, because it is the same government that actually created these new districts. But in any case, it is actually foolhardy to hear government complaining about lack of resources to conduct elections in the newly created districts, yet the same government can be able to find 280 billion shillings on short notice to actually fund an astronomical project that relates to procuring a Uganda Airlines, or actually funding to put up a heavy infrastructure project in the name of the Luoa Hospital. So these comparisons actually bring a sense of feeling among Ugandans that government is actually not prioritizing elections in this case. People who live in the newly created districts are at a disadvantage. Right now, they're not accessing services because there is no money allocated to them within the framework of the national budget. Now, secondly, those people actually do not have their voice represented in parliament and in district councils, where key policy matters are discussed and decided upon. So even in the coming general election, these people will be left hanging. They could be a population that may not actually have a voice in national matters, in their politics, in their governance, in the destiny of their society. As part of the electoral reforms that we have been campaigning for the last 10 years, has been the question of putting in place a moratorium on district creation. We have consistently urged government to put a halt on district creation. But government has not listened, because creating new districts many times has a political flavor to it. It is intended to obtain more political support from the districts created. It is actually a form of gerrymandering. Now that government has consistently not taken heed of our advice to halt district creation, government must find money to conduct these elections, or else government has inadvertently failed on its core functions. Foremost, the delay in conducting the elections in the newly created districts is in total breach of the law. Once an electoral area becomes operational, then elections must be held within a stipulated period, which I think is 60 days. Now, if you roll over the elections that are supposed to have happened in these new districts to the subsequent financial year, then beyond being in breach of the laws, you are actually stampeding the election roadmap, and consequently stampeding the election management body that is actually supposed to manage and run an election, because then you transfer the burden of government's disorganization to the electoral management body to deal with. That then it has to go back and reconstruct the smaller electoral areas within the newly created districts, but then it also has to deal with a backlog of elections in these districts which have been created and elections have not been conducted in previous years. So it's sheer disorganization by government, and I think government needs to account for decisions such as this one, where the left hand does not speak to the right hand. If government was aware it did not have the funds to facilitate elections in these newly created districts, there is no reason why they should have actually gone ahead to create them.